Welcome, everyone. Glad to have you at the Integration Quest MuleSoft study group. Today we have Diane, and she is going to be presenting on part 1 of 4. I know there was some advertisement out saying part 3. Well, it's evolved. It's mutated. I guess we'll go with evolved. Mutated kind of sounds scary. So it's turned into 4 parts. So glad to have you all with us here for part 1. If you're watching this on the recording, check it out. We're going to have 3 more parts. This is going to be carrying on into MuleSoft API. She's going to be taking us through the things that we missed. Some of us may have missed at Dreaming in Data. So how cool is that? We're going to get to see what was taking place there on the data relay. And I'm excited to be following along with it and seeing everything. So let's go ahead and go through a couple things before I turn it over to her. Like we've been doing, we're just going to keep doing this. This has been awesome. Everybody's been doing great with this, with the MuleSoft or the Integration Quest Code of Conduct, where everybody has been doing what they should be, and we'll just keep that rolling. So happy to see that. I like to advertise this out, and I like to keep showing this. We've got more subscribers. We're up to 300 something now, and it's just growing, and I'm glad to see that. I hope that these videos are helping you all. Please keep on leaving comments. I love replying back to you and seeing how things are going. There's the links if you haven't checked it out. That's the library for all of these videos. We archive them and keep them all there, so that way you can keep up, because you may miss a part of this today, or may miss one of these parts, and we've got you covered. We have the recording, and I usually clean them up. Any kind of lag time, we clean it up so that way you can get straight to the point. Here's Diane. This is her bio, and I always say we are so thankful that she's willing to contribute and give back and learn with us, just like she'll tell you, I'm learning too. And so we are all learning, and we're in this together. But she's been doing this for so long, and we're so thankful that she's willing to come and contribute, give back to the community with all this experience. So I'll stop talking so she can do that very thing. While I'm not talking, I will be watching the chat. So if anybody needs to ask a question or whatever, we don't have the little hand raise emoji here, so just drop it in the chat and I'll keep an eye on it. If she misses it, I'll raise my hand by coming on camera and we'll ask questions as we go, okay?
Sounds great. Sounds great. Thank you, RJ. Appreciate that. And great to see some names in the room that I know, and really excited about having you here also. Want to give a shout out to Suma. We were talking about you yesterday. If your ears were ringing, congratulations on MCD2. And we want to hear from you about what that was like, what that involved. And so really, really appreciate you being here also. 2 instructors in the room with us as well. We've got Jonavi and Vincent. So they're going to be also not at this segment, but sharing some things going forward. We've got some expertise in the room there. Great always to see Evan because he's got some things to contribute as well. Evan, I want to follow up with you on what you shared with me about the promotional, promoting things. And so we've got some things to follow up with there. And if I didn't mention your name, please know that you're near and dear to my heart. Sammy's here also. Met her in Chicago. Yay, Sammy. You'll be seeing some things posted. And so anyways, just great to see you all. Let's dive in and get started. Now, yes, RJ is right. This is I had a vision of doing this, honestly, really it started several years ago where, we take MuleSoft assets and bring them elsewhere and show how that happened, that data movement, so that started a couple of years ago. I presented in Atlanta on a shorter one, which used the metrics toolkit, capturing a lot of KPIs from Anypoint Platform and then migrating that over into Tableau. So that was, kind of where it started. And then as I approached into, presenting a workshop for Dreaming in Data is where this kind of, became more fuller in its expectations. So that's a little history on it, is taking a MuleSoft API, using Salesforce orchestration, some of the flows, as well as Agentforce in Salesforce. And I think we're getting a little feedback from a mic there. Oh, Angela's here too. Hello, I'm seeing folks come in. So welcome. And then, of course, part 3 will be Tableau visualization. Speaking of Angela, hello, Angela. And part 4 will be our Slack agent in Slack using Agentforce. So this, like I said, was a vision I had, and Dreaming in Data, the leadership there, caught my vision, caught my dream, and it became a reality. So for going forward, it's going to be referred to as the Data Relay Workshop. It is a brainstorm I had, but only so that, as you know, we don't infringe on any kind of copyright or anything from Dreaming in Data. I wanted to, kind of have it where it's kind of its own focus. So Max is holding the relay. We're going to start with Mule first, but this is the event that occurred last Thursday, and a week ago last Thursday. But anyway, was a great event. These are the instructors that participated all the way through. Ryan started with Mule. I picked up on part 2. Sebastian did Tableau, and Ali did the Slack portion. So it was really great. I don't know if Sebastian is going to be available for the Tableau piece or not. We'll see. Ali has committed on the Slack one, and we're trying to schedule all those in based on their availability. However, part 2, which is the Salesforce piece, is going to be next Friday. Now, I am a little limited on my time for today. I'm going to have to keep it tightly to an hour. So wherever we finish today, we're going to pick up on next Friday to complete it out. And we'll take the full 90 minutes for that one. So great to see you all. We're going to be doing the full life cycle of an API in a faster mode, but I'm going to try to make sure everybody is okay if you're doing hands-on keyboard. If you're not doing hands-on keyboard, just observe, sit back, relax. You'll have all of the details. RJ is going to put everything, any of the links that we use for code share and all of that good stuff in the comments of this video in YouTube. So you should be able to find all of that there. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera off just to minimize bandwidth, and we'll go ahead and get started. So what I want you to do first is, because we're going to go through the entire life cycle of the API, we are going to start with a fresh trial account. Okay, brand new. Don't use one that was in existence, because you want to have the full 30-day period of time for this account. Okay, because we don't know when Slack's going to happen, and Slack is definitely going to be needing to use the API. Okay, so it could be, we want to give a full month's time. So that means we're going to go ahead and log in, go to anypoint.mulesoft.com. anypoint.mulesoft.com, and we're going to sign up for a brand spanking new account. Spanky new. So here we go. Go ahead and fill this out. All right. Go all the way through. I'm going to put this as the data relay. And I always kind of date my company so that I know when I set this up. It'll help me remember when it will expire. I also end up putting it in my username down below also. And here we go. DR for data relay. There we go. All right. So as always, save your username in a folder or file so that you have it and you won't be lost next week when we are at this again. Okay, so do start saving any of the credentials that are needed here. It just makes life a lot easier for you. And of course, your password as well. All right, so here we go. We should have an account cooking here. So how's that for starting off? And okay, come on now. Starting off right off the bat. Oh, whoops. I forgot to put the state. All right. Now we should be happy. There we go. All right. So once you're in and you've got a new account, we want, again, like I said, to have your credentials nearby. And we are going to launch Anypoint Code Builder. Okay, Anypoint Code Builder. And so if most of you, I know we've been working in this anyway. So do make sure you log out of your previous account. Okay. Because I know we've been working. I know many of you have already got this installed. So go ahead and log out of your previous account. And then you're going to log back in. For those of you that may not have this installed, please be sure to follow our video. RJ will put it in the link down below to install Anypoint Code Builder. We've got it for Windows as well as for Mac. So check that out and learn how to install it. If you have any trouble along the way, just ping us. We'll be glad to assist you. All right, so this login now is really just for Anypoint Code Builder. And then you should see that you are logged in on the bottom right. Okay, bottom right here. And we're ready to get this going. Now, one thing I did do is I went ahead and created a new folder to work out of here in Anypoint Code Builder. So you would go through the Explorer and open folder, create a new folder. So I did already create a new folder. So I'm in a clean new area for this project. Let me take that down. We don't need that. Okay. All right. Everybody good so far? Let me know if you have any questions. I know, RJ, you're monitoring that, so that is great. Okay, so one of the first things we want to do is and we will also post the instructions for you all. And we're going to use a code share here. And give me a second. I'll put the link in the chat for you. Let me get the code share. Here we go. So at the event, Ryan had a brilliant idea. And last minute, I went ahead and created a code share that has all of the other links in it. So that was smart. Ryan always brings color and helps us to remember what we need to do. So that first link is going to be, or I should say code share, is going to be where you find some shared files, also our OAS spec, our runtime manager properties, and our agent configuration. So stick with me as we go through this, and I'm going to also add the codes in the chat as we go forward. But just so you are aware of what all that is, we're going to be using different pieces along the way. Okay. So everybody together, let's start with clicking on MuleSoft on the left here for Anypoint Code Builder. Okay, Anypoint Code Builder. And we're going to design an API. Design an API. I'll keep trying it till we get it. It is not recognizing it. Opening the project. Why? What is the deal here on this? In the workspace. What is that problem?
Amy in the chat is saying that she had success by changing it over to customer order SAPI 2. I wonder.
And it worked. All right, let me try that.
I've noticed that if I've tried to completely clear things out, delete everything, and give it a new naming convention and everything, and it still would be giving me the problem, but it's worth a try.
Yeah. See, Sammy, when you right click on your YAML file or even the project name, are you able to see an API defined here? Like what I'm talking about, there should be where you can right click. Instead of just Maven, it should say API as well. Yeah, we're going to fight this battle. We're going to figure this out. There's something going on in the file structure. Yes, see, yes, Sammy, share your screen. And I'll show you all what I'm after, and what this is what we want it to look like.
Hi, Diane. Give me just a second sharing.
Okay. Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes. And when you right click on that SAPI2 YAML,
Yep.
see
I
how
can
she
see
has
the
the API there? That's what we're after. That's what we are lacking. Can you show me the file structure of your, where that is, like where your workspace is?
Sure. How do I find that?
If you go to the upper left there where you see the folders, yeah, click on that for a second. Let's see. No, it's like, yeah. Okay, go up a little bit where it says Explorer, and then to the right, the 3 dots, and then Open Editors. Okay, let's see where that one is. And it's not going to, yeah.
So I actually created the folder, and over here.
Okay, so I
Open.
see where that is.
Yep.
Okay. Where is
So,
2 though?
oh, okay. Give me just a second.
Yeah, because I've got the same file structure as you do also, but mine is it's kind of like, where did it go? Now it's not saved yet. Maybe it didn't save it yet.
Okay. Actually,
I noticed the dot next. Oh, there it is. Okay, so
Yep.
it is in your
And VS Code.
if you go up one, where is that folder at? Is that where it is?
Yep. So semi desktop customer orders API.
Okay, so it created it right on your desktop.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's the deal is
Oh,
that
yes. Here.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it also has your VS Code, your temp, your Maven, and ours is not, mine is not showing that. So it has something to do with where this folder is sitting. Yeah, fun stuff, fun stuff. If we get stuck, we'll just pick up where we left off next week, and I'll get, we'll figure it out. But the, I know Alex had shared some things with me that I asked her about. Visual Code Studio from the root project and not from inside another folder. All right, so I'm going to go. All right, I'll take the share back here.
Okay.
And let me try one other thing. So you're good. You can move forward. Yay, Sammy! I'm going to try not having a folder at all. So I'm going to actually see what it does, because I think what may have been is that it is mine's kind of getting caught in here, and this should go away also. You gotta love it. Troubleshooting. All right, so I am back to the bare folder, and I'm going to try it again. Maybe 3 times the charm. Enable. Name of the project. Watch, if I call it something silly, it would work. So I better do it right. Customer orders. SAPI 100. The 100th try. Yes, this is true. Life with a young product. I'm not going to put location. I'm just going to leave it. I wonder if it's going to throw an error. Project created. Ah, you stinker. Okay, so I think it worked. All else fails. Maybe it worked. What did it just create then? So don't put a location. Okay, that's my old folder. I don't think it went there. This is going to be, there it is. Okay, don't tell it where to put it. Let it put it wherever it wants to. Apparently, I don't know. That may not be accurate, but it is working. And now here's what I was after. First of all, the exclamation points are gone. And if I right click, now there's that API that I was showing you that Sammy had, right? Publish to Exchange. Then we also would have the ability to do it from up here too. Okay, so don't put, you saw what I did, capture that. RJ, you can cut the other stuff out and make the video clean. I just love that part. And okay, so now what we want to do is we want to copy that code share again. If you haven't got it in your clipboard already, here's the code share. And then we will paste it in here. And I am going to leave my title as the 100. I'll go back and fix that. Mostly because I want to keep track of this one. Okay, so zoop, all the way up. And I'll put the 100 there. Now, save it. Save it often. Save it often. I think there is an autosave. Jonavi, did we figure out where the autosave was? I thought I heard that there was an autosave in Anypoint Code Builder. It was in file. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to figure that one out. And if we close our agent topics here, we can close that. Now, the other beautiful thing is, so this is where we were before, but we did not have these little cute buttons up here. And if we don't have those cute little buttons, that means we can't navigate and show some cool things in Anypoint Code Builder. All right. So one of the things we can do is we can open up the pound sign. And now the pound sign has populated. This is the agent topics, which, by the way, has a name change. They're now called what? Vincent, do you know what they're called? Vincent, I don't know if Vincent's here.
Figure it out by Monday because I'm teaching that. But yeah, we changed topics to, I don't remember.
Subagents. It was a trivia.
Subagents, yeah.
Subagents, yes. So yeah, topics are now called subagents, but all of our literature is going to be topics. Okay. Oh, Jonavi says if you go to File and then Autosave is here. Autosave. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. File, Autosave. Turn it on. All right, so now we're auto-saving. See, I love having a room full of smart people. You all are so smart. Everybody brings a different thing to the table, so it's just very nice. All right, so the agent topics that we have defined here are now populated here, which is great. Okay, so that is good. We can close that window. Just wanted to show you. The other thing I wanted to show you is the next one over that kind of looks like a screen. It is the API console. Check that out. So to give yourself a little more room, I'm going to close the chat over here in the far right. And there is the get orders. We can see what is going to transpire with our get orders and our example data of our orders. You can do the try it, send it in, and we're getting our example orders. So we have an API console here as well. Very cool. And it's ready to go. Let's go ahead and publish this to Exchange. So we have the Exchange icon up here in the upper right. There's many other places you can publish this to Exchange from. The other one is right click here, API, publish to Exchange. We can also come up here to the top in the commands. There's also a publish to Exchange. Wherever you want to go, it doesn't matter. You're going to end up on this screen right here. And on this screen, we want to go ahead and put in the lowercase v letter or number 1. And if you scroll down, you'll notice that it is tagged here with SF API catalog, SF API topic. That means something to us to have it populate into API catalog on Salesforce next session. So we'll be doing that for the next session. And so now we can click on publish. Bada boom, we may have this done today, folks. We are moving along. While that's publishing to Exchange, I want you to go to the code share. And there is the tinyurl.com DK shared files Copy that, please. Open up a new tab, paste that in, go there, and it's going to bring you to a Dropbox folder. Okay, Dropbox folder. So what I want you to do with this is download the autodiscovery v2 jar file. Download it. Sammy and Angela, it's the same one we used at the workshop. That did not change.
Thank you.
Okay. Yep, you can use the same one. So, or continue with download only. You do not have to create an account. Click on download only, and it's going to download someplace where you can find it. I'm going to go ahead and put mine on my desktop. Wherever you want to put it is fine. Okay. So now it says it has published to Exchange. Let's go view our asset. You can click on it from here. Open. Now there's a question at the top up here that says, do you want to implement this? We want to say no. Okay, we want to say no. There is a way to turn around and implement this specification in an application. Time is not going to permit us to do that for this class or for this session. So that's going to be another thing we might save for another day when we're working with Anypoint Code Builder again. But if you launch directly into your custom order system API, you will see them here. Okay, so here is our API. Here's everything we need here for, example running through this. And the first iteration of the life cycle of an API is now complete. Woohoo! What we did is created our specification and we published it to Exchange. Now we're going to jump into the next iteration, which is an API Manager. So you're going to go over into API Manager. So everybody go to API Manager. And we're going to manage that very API. Okay, so click on Add New. And we're going to come down here to the Mule Gateway. Time doesn't permit me to explain everything that's here, but if you watch some of the videos on API management, you'll see the details of the different gateways. And we want to do a basic endpoint today. That's what we're going to do, is a basic endpoint. So by default, it's already clicked. That's great. Go ahead and go to Next. You'll see your system API. That's great. We're going to come down. All of this is good. It's all good there by default. We'll go to Next. All of this is defaulted. Don't need to do anything there either. Go to Next. And even this is fine for now. We'll come back and change some of this. We'll go to Next and scroll all the way down. This is just a review page. Basic endpoint is the type of enforcement we're going to use for ours, and click on Save. All right, so now the big deal here is that you now have a managed API. This is a managed API, and we have an API instance. Now, there are no policies associated with this yet, but I do want you to copy this API instance, and I want you to put that in your little notes that you have going. Here's my little notes I have going, and put the API ID and add that number you just got. Okay. Just got that number. Now, the other thing we need to get as well, so this is good. This can sit right here for now. We want to go back, go to APIs at the top and right click on API Manager and open it in a new tab. Okay, because that'll leave this one open for us to use. And we have a new tab here. Okay. Now, what we need, we're going to deploy that app we just downloaded. But what we're going to need is we need to provide it with a client ID and client secret for this particular environment. We are in the sandbox environment, and we are going to provide the client ID and client secret of that particular environment. Okay. So for the environment credentials, go ahead and click on Show. And you'll notice a client ID and a client secret that is here. So copy those, copy the client ID, put that in your little notes, copy the client secret, put that in your little notes, and you're done here. Okay, so we want the environment. You can use the business group. I'm not going to go there right now, but you can. We want to target it specifically for this environment. Okay. So our next order of business that we need to do, let's go back to our code share. There's runtime manager properties. Runtime manager properties. Now we're going to go to that code share now. All right. And this has a block of code. Don't type in here. Yes, yes. Copy the top portion. Copy that. Take that over to where you've been working on your notes. Okay. And now what we want to do is we can close that down. We're not going to type in that code share, are we? Nope, nope. We are going to make the changes here on your little notepad. So copy your API ID. Paste that where it says your API ID. Paste that over. You're going to get your client ID. Likewise, you're going to put it in its place. Oh, come on now. And then the secret. And then we're going to just copy that little code block right there that you just created. Copy it. This is what our application will need for details of deploying into your environment. You just made it very specific for your environment. So now we're going to go to the Runtime tab, Runtime Manager, and we're going to deploy that application you downloaded. Okay, in the sandbox environment, deploy an application. Okay, so in here, you can go ahead and get rid of what's in your clipboard. There's a Properties tab, center of the screen. Let's go ahead and get what's in our clipboard out. Switch over to Text View and paste in what's in your clipboard. Now you've just provided that application, the details it will need to authenticate into this environment and associate it with that managed API that we just managed. Okay, so you can click out of that box. You can go back to table view, and now you can see these values. But I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and protect the secret. When you protect this, click on protect. Now it's not visible. Okay, you can have the ID visible, but protect the secret. That's now stored in our secrets vault that you cannot have access to. If you have to try to retrieve that, you'll have to replace it. Okay, so now let's name the application. It's going to be customer dash orders. All of this has to be lowercase. I'm going to call this the app, and then customer orders app. All right, it's going to the shared space. And then for the file, we want to upload that file wherever you put it. So we'll go to desktop. Yep, somebody's got an open mic. Did you just yawn, Vincent?
Afraid so. I'm so sorry.
It is. He is in the Pacific time zone. I'll give him that. I had someone in class one time, Vincent and Donovan, you'll appreciate this. They had an open mic and they sighed during class, like they were bored. And I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, it happened. The struggle is real. All right, so we want to go ahead and click on the file that we downloaded, and now we're ready to deploy. Go ahead, kick it, deploy it. Boom, there it goes. So, we are deploying this to CloudHub shared space. We have provided our properties details, so it should be able to find everything it needs to go ahead and deploy our application. And we may get as far as adding our policy. Ooh, we might actually pull this off, folks. That would be pretty cool. I think it'd have to be the fastest I've ever done the lifecycle of an API. But now we are skipping things like, looking at that application. What do we really have in that Mule application? That kind of a thing, which is connecting to the database. It has, there are several things that are in that application also. So, we are missing that. That would normally Normally when we go through this, what, Genevieve and Vincent, is like a 2-day process, right? About 2 days, we go through that whole process. Yeah. All right. So once this deploys, what's going to happen behind the scenes is this application is deployed. We've given it the API ID. Now, behind the scenes, it's going to locate that managed API and associate the this application with that managed API. So any policies we put on our managed API will be the policies that are going to be levied for access to our application. At first, it's going to be an unsecured endpoint. It won't matter. We won't have any policies, and we'll see that. So one place we can go while we're waiting for the logs to populate is go to Settings over here on the left, and you can click on View Status, and you can see the little green square that shows the status of this application's deployment. Sometimes you can even see it go through the different phases here of, that it's initialized and, it has started, that type of thing. And if it's hung up, you'll know why it's hung up here. You'll see that it's retrying something numerous times. But the behavior we're seeing so far is pretty normal. That's pretty normal for it to go through different connects. All right. Ooh, mine has greened up. So when yours has greened up, yep. That's always good to know. That's always good to know. Great to see you, Vincent. Have fun. Have a great weekend. All right. So it has completed. We are good to go. We know that. And so we have a public endpoint here. Okay. So this is our public endpoint now. If we click on that public endpoint and we add /orders, what did you do? Let me make sure. One second. There we go. Orders, get orders. Okay, we should have orders happening. Okay, if we go here, maybe we need API /orders. Bad request. But okay, we're not going to worry about that. We're going to fix some things here. That should have populated, but let's go to our public endpoint, right click on our public endpoint and copy this address. Now we want to put this address here in our files also. Okay, so we're going to have that nearby. And what we want to do next is go to API Manager. And remember I said there were some fields that we weren't going to fill out until later. So now we're going to come back in and fill those out. Okay, so if we open up our customer orders system API 100 times that I tried it, which really it didn't take that, we're going to come down here to edit this icon. There's an edit icon. Go ahead and click on that edit icon. And then down here, the upstream URL, we want to go ahead and paste in that public endpoint there. Okay, paste in that public endpoint. That way we now have this identified as our public endpoint. And I want to check on one thing really quick here, because I ran through that before and I want to see where that went. Yep. One second. I'm just double checking. I want to double check if I added API here or not. I think I did, but I want to be sure. There's that. There's that. That part is done. All right. Here's all this good stuff. Manage it. Do that. I'm looking at our notes that you'll get a copy of it. Yeah, so that happened in our trial too. So it should be. Yeah, that should be working. I don't know why that's not working. But anyway, go ahead and add the upstream URL here and update that. And yeah, you know, I don't think we have that part in the, I don't know, Johnny, that's what I'm trying to figure out. We're going to have to do both of them and see. Let's add it. Let's add it because it does have the API. Oh, and you know what else we need? This also copy that same thing. So let's add it and test it. And then we will also add it for the consumer endpoint as well, that whole URL for the consumer endpoint, and save. Okay. So now we should be able to go to our client app or into Exchange. Into Exchange is one way to go in here. We'll go to orders, get, and now we see the mocking service here. Okay, go and we switch from the mocking service to the sandbox. And let's send in the request. See, that's what I'm wondering about there. That is not working. And why that is not behaving. I'm going to try this without it. Give me a second. I will let you know. Let me refresh this. I don't think we changed anything on. Yeah, see, something's wrong about that. I got to get to the bottom of that. I don't think anything changed in our specification that should have impacted this. So for whatever reason, that is, I believe it should be with the API, but we're not hitting that endpoint anyway. Let me try something else up here too. Oh, it wouldn't be fun if it weren't troubleshooting things. All right, so I'm going to try this here, /orders. And then I am not, these are not the client ID and client secrets for this one. That was from something else. Yeah, it's not. Let me see what the bad request is. Runtime manager. Let's go see what it is. What is the bad request? Oh, huh. Seriously. Required client ID and client secret. Oh, you know why? Okay, I know why we're getting a bad request. Because I built the specification with the details of needing client ID and client secret. Even before the policy. That's why it's not working. Light bulb moment. Okay. So if you don't quite understand what's happening there, bear with me. We need to go do a policy on this. How are we on time? 4 minutes. Woo. Let's get a policy on this really quick. This is fast. Move fast, everybody. Let's say we got this. We got this. Customer order system API, add a policy. The policy we're going to add is going to be down here in the client ID enforcement. Click on next. It is going to automatically be adding the need for client ID and client secret, which is what we want anyway to secure it. So it kind of forces you not to be able to access it without client ID and client secret. Now we need the client ID and client secret. So we will now go to Exchange, hop over to Exchange, and we're going to request access, and it'll give it to us immediately. So on your system API, where it says request access, go ahead and choose Sandbox, create a new contract application between me and them. This is going to be my Sandbox credentials. Okay, Sandbox credentials here. Click on create. and request access, and ta-da, they're here. Copy that. Put that in your little notes also. And for the API, this is your client ID and client secret. So behind the scenes, while we were doing that, the policy was being levied onto our endpoint. Okay, and now you will add client ID and client secret with those brand new credentials you just got. Oh my gosh, are we going to do this on time? I think so. And so there is the client ID, paste that one in here. Client secret, paste that one in here. And send. Wow, it worked. Ta-da! So I did need to add API at the end here. I think the last time I saved it is with it or without. I don't remember what I did now. This is what happens when you start moving really quick. You're like, what did I do? What did I do? Let me check. I think the last I did, it is included, but I still am needing to add it here. So, all right. So folks, guess what? You just did a secured API. Kind of haphazardously, we kind of slid inside, so we got it done before 1 o'clock. Wow. Okay, so capture that on the video if you have any trouble. I know I kind of jumped through that pretty quickly there towards the end to make it happen, but it did happen. So
You got it. That was awesome. Great work.
Hey, Angela, good to see you.
Hey, Diane, you too. Sorry I was on mute earlier, but I heard you. Hi.
Yeah, cool. Y'all come on camera. And I mean, if you want to, RJ can splice this out if you don't want to be on camera on the YouTube channel. So
we'll stop recording, whatever y'all want to do. That was great work.
Okay.
And
great job, Diane. Yay.
Yep.
We pulled it off. Thanks, Sammy's helped us through. Like what? I don't know, but you did, Sammy. You helped us out there.
Hi, guys.
Great to have you all here too. They were in the real live workshop in Chicago, so it's
Yes.
you guys, and we had a lot of fun afterwards too. Fly over Chicago, that was a lot of fun. That was neat. Not for real, it was a virtual flyover, but we did fly up to the
They didn't get our pizza though. You guys didn't like our pizza. That was too bad.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Good. Yeah. So, but great, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here. Next week we will take it the next phase where we do the Salesforce and Anypoint Platform integration between them, and then after that it'll be Tableau. Angela might be our Tableau person. I think we've not heard back from our other instructor yet, or the one that presented. I don't know if he's really busy, but Angela's probably queuing up for Tableau. Definitely will be doing Tableau with us for additional things anyway. So looking forward to that. And of course, we did hear from Allie on the Slack piece, and I think she is. I just need to find out when she's available. So
good. That'd be awesome. I'd love to have them and present on that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. So thank you, RJ.
I had to put the celebratory emojis in there when you got it. But yeah,
Exactly.
So glad to see it come through. And hey, this is real life. This is what we do. So thank you everybody for attending today and for joining. And we're looking forward to seeing you all on the part 2, part 3, and the future part 4.
Yeah.
And we'll just close it. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. And I'll stop recording. Do like we always do. I like to put this in the video, in the recorded video. We're just going to hang out and talk for a little bit now, so maybe that may encourage you to come to the live part. I don't know, but I get it. Sometimes we're busy and we can't make it. So that's why we do this. All right. Thank you, everybody.